what's going on, everybody? This is Lady Luck. Oh, y'all, we got a show for this evening. Oh my God. Welcome in. Welcome in. Ah, life. It doesn't allow me to schedule lives better. But welcome in anyway. How y'all doing? Let's get some music going. How's it going? Hey Jeff. How you doing? Y'all, I'm gonna try to get all the comments up that I can. Hey Sharon Gregory, how you doing? How's everybody doing on this lovely Sunday? It's nice outside. I had to get out early and go to the store. My oldest son wanted to go to the store and cash in some coins or something. I don't something he tried to do. Yeah. Everybody chilling here. See how you doing? Everybody chilling, everybody good. Y'all, I came home. I was cooking and cleaning up, did some laundry some more. And you got two teenage boys. I mean, it's kind of like laundry's almost like every 2 or 3 day thing you just have to do. So gotta take care of the babies. We gotta do it. What's going on? Hey, Nita Young, what's happening? Yeah, I'm gonna get better with this scheduling of the live streams because I do understand that people want to know when I'm gonna go live. Right now, DWC is live, and I went over there and showed him some love. But I said I gotta go live tonight because you guys know how my week is when it comes to working and stuff. I may not be able to go live every day, but tomorrow we will be because somebody's being sworn in tomorrow. I'm so happy. Ding dong, the witch is dead. Y'all, the Wicked Witch of Dolton. Oh, will not even be a memory in a good way. I'm just excited for you all to finally get rid of her ass. That's it. She got to go. She had to go. Oh man, that's a lot of laundry. I know that. Look, that's lots of laundry been there with my two. Yeah, especially boys. So, are you guys excited about the story tomorrow? Y'all should be excited. Jason finally becomes official. Not like he hasn't been doing the job already for the last 8 months, a year or something. 2 years. Been mayor pro temp, having to really do the dirty work that no one wants to give him credit for. What we do, we give him credit. He signed over 24 business licenses. He made sure that the agreement with the Dalton firefighters, the collective bargaining agreement, was signed and was done. And you know one thing you got to say about Jason House, he's not running around here bragging about what he's doing. He's just doing what needs to be done. You understand? He's not bragging about it. He's just getting it done. All of the stuff that's being said about him, if one thing just from observing and reporting and researching on what's going on in Dolton, one thing I can say about Jason House is that he doesn't respond to everything, and he shows you exactly where you belong in his life. He gives you his ass to kiss without saying it. I'm trying to get there, bro. You know what? I think I have. I think I've gotten there to a point where a lot of times you don't even always have to say something to respond. There's certain things you can do. Just not responding and ignoring people can be a loud enough response all on its own. There's one thing my grandmother and my godmother both taught me. Sometimes your presence speaks for itself. You don't always have to say something. Amen to that. So ignoring people speaks louder than it does you trying to go back and forth with them. I mean, I'm not gonna, and I don't care what aspect of life, whether you're talking about somebody at work, dealing with some raggedy ass relatives, it doesn't matter what setting you're in. Sometimes the best way to respond to someone, pretend like they don't exist, because they might not. If they're not paying your bills and you're not paying theirs, they are completely insignificant in your life. The end. The end. Amen. And I feel that I think hopefully that's something that you guys here in the LLC can learn from me. I feel like I have to be responsible for my platform and take a lead on certain things. And I think that's one of those things. You know, we ignore the BS. We ignore the insignificant people that mean nothing. They meant nothing before. They're gonna mean nothing after it's all done. So that's it. You know, if you don't respond to them, the worst they can do is lie on you. Oh well. I will. 19 people in. Y'all make sure you hit the like button. I'm just sharing some wisdom. I'm imparting wisdom that I was taught. Don't always respond to the buffoonery. It just makes you look like it. I learned that. So, thank you all for tuning in. I appreciate you all for being here. Hey, Jeff. Hey, Tanya. How you doing? How's it going? Y'all, it's nice outside. Make sure y'all get outside. Get the kids outside. If you can tolerate the pollen. I can't, but if you can, get outside. You know, there's a lot of pollen here in Georgia. Sydney, how you doing? Oh, listen. You speaking in emoticon. I'm still learning. I'm old fashioned. How you doing, Sydney? How's it going? Now the real work begins. I know. You love, what is that? Brazil? Is that, what is BR? Is that, I'm thinking as Brazil Rose. You have to tell me what that means. I don't know. I'm sorry. I'm trying to keep up. We got a good show planned out. Listen, we're gonna kick this off with Letitia James. Oh, Letitia James. Why, lady? Yeah, I don't understand what she's doing. Like, what are you doing? So, Jesus. Letitia James got caught up doing some nonsense with some taxes. It's just almost irritating. It's like, why? 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 Yeah, and I have the video from
This is what Ivy League University.
Hold on. Lead attorney. Uh-oh. What's going on? Oh man, the lead attorney. All right, so I like the lead attorney. I've been following him for a while, especially when he was covering the YSL trials, covering other, you know, of course, legal cases that went mainstream and went viral. And he's a fantastic YouTuber. He has a great channel. He has great content. He's an actual attorney, and he's here in Georgia. Yay! He was on DWC's one of his live streams, and I'm just like, I'm such a fan. I was sitting there like, oh my God. I kept saying, I'm a huge fan. I'm a huge fan. I am a huge fan. But I'm a huge fan of anyone, especially those who went to law school and, you know, can provide legal insight. I listen to those YouTubers, those commentators in a hot minute. Debt Free Dad and Nate the Lawyer, the lead attorney, Law Talk with Mike, a real Law Talk with Mike. There are a few YouTubers that, you know, are actual attorneys that will, you know, legal. Everyone knows legal. That will give some legal insight. And to me, she who knows the law has the power. So brush up on your legal knowledge and always, you know, be in the spirit of learning. And so before I assume how something should be done or how something is going to go, I will report and research, and I will listen to those who actually have the legal knowledge that can teach me, you know, and educate me on legal aspects of certain cases. So he did a video on Letitia James. She's the New York Attorney General. Y'all, she put something on her taxes and it screwed her up. And instead of her just saying, you know what, my bad, I'm going to go ahead and pay the fee for it and keep living. You're dancing around the subject, Letitia James. We don't have time for this. Yapping up. It is becoming very irritating. I mean, I think she's smart and brilliant. She's just doing something really stupid. And that's my honest take on it. You know, so let's get started here. It's not nice in Chicago. It's been a long Sunday. Oh, is everything okay? Sydney, Rio de Janeiro, Brazil. There you go. Welcome in. Hey, Gabriel Enrique. is a fantastic vocalist in Brazil, and I have a whole playlist on. So a lot of supporters are still here in Brazil, and I thank you all for supporting the channel and tuning in. I know I haven't been doing a lot of music reactions, but because YouTube cracks down on music, I guess they don't think music reactions have anything to add. So I mean, we get copyright hits all day, every day, and it's a lot of videos that I've reacted to. People have asked me to that I've done that were completely blocked, and my channel came even close to being copyright struck because of music reactions. And I definitely try to give commentary and pause, do the filters, you do all this stuff. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. So and it's not necessarily YouTube, it's the producers, is those that own the actual music. They don't care that it actually hurts the artist, and that you have YouTubers like myself actually putting their music out and getting it out into the broader public. They don't care about that. They don't care about that. They just hear music and you run it through the software program, and it's like, oh, it matches something that's copyrighted, and that's it. That's all. That's all it is. And you think the producers would be like, you know what, these music reactors are actually helping my client, helping the artist. No, there's no money in that. So it has been very difficult. So original content it is. So I have to say it. Nora, LLC International channel. Yeah, I have international supporters, and I thank God for all of them. And my channel was here 3-4 years before we started reporting on Super Stupid in Dolton, and it's gonna be here after that because there's stuff happening in the news all day, every day, and it is what it is. Super Mod, Jedediah Clown still coming in here, clown. Hi, I mean, welcome. Be careful what you say now, because Laura's gonna handle you. Be nice, man. Be nice. Yeah, we all know. Everybody get viewers coming in and watching and trying to provoke my mods and stuff. It's so weird. Go cut some grass, find something to do. Feed a bear. Find something to do. Get a life. But I mean, you cool and you participate in chat and you enjoying the content. Hit the like button at the very least. You're gonna see him troll. I handle the trolls, y'all. They target practice. I laugh at them. All right, keep it moving. Gabriel LNK. Yes. See, I knew it. I'm good. Black vendors event at church. All right. Is that what I'm supposed to say? Be okay, black, or is that need something else? Let me know. I could be wrong. I'm sorry. Sydney, hello. Hashtag bear spray. Roar. All right, let's move on. Let's get to it. We're gonna get started. Because I don't want to keep you guys all night. It's a school night. So I'm busy getting kids ready for school in the morning in the background. Let me know if you can hear and see.
You can get into with a 3.6 GPA.
90% of students with a 4.0 plus GPAs.
All right.
Letitia James always.
I'm gonna make sure you guys can hear, and this is the lead attorney, by the way. Please check out his channel. He has great content. He has 485,000 subscribers. Oh man, why am I not one? There you go. So he did a video on her refusal to declare her innocence. She won't say I didn't do it. I mean, it's kind of hard to do that when the proof is in the tax documents and it's on paper. I don't think her saying I didn't do it would help. Because now you're just insulting, everyone, because we know what we're reading. But I think more so it's a matter of explaining if it was an error, if it was intentional, what was the motive behind this, what were your goal, or what were you planning to do by putting this information down? That is more so what, if I'm listening in and I'm sitting in a jury box, I want to hear that. Why did you put that down there? Why? Not necessarily what. And we know what she wrote, right? But the question is why. You know, I don't expect her to say I'm innocent. Well, okay. Well, the question is, what do you think you're being accused of? You know, she's the New York Attorney General. She went to law school, so I think she just knows certain things just not to say because it just wouldn't. I mean, it's kind of black and white in writing. It's futile, right? So make sure you guys check out the lead attorney. Let's get to it. Try to get through some of this video. I might speed it up a little bit.
Says that the mortgage fraud charges against her are baseless.
Let me just say to all New Yorkers and to all Americans, the allegations are baseless.
This is lawyer speak. I've been a lawyer for over 20 years, and I'm going to tell you exactly what baseless means, and I'm going to tell you why I think she's guilty.
Basically, my response is it's baseless. The allegations are baseless.
The charges are so baseless.
I will respond to these baseless allegations at the appropriate time.
I know you can't litigate and shouldn't be litigating just these, as you call them, baseless charges against you.
What is your response to that?
It's baseless.
Honored and excited that you're going to fight these charges. Glad to hear that you plan to vigorously defend yourself against these baseless charges.
Letitia James can't stop going on all these.
Yeah, so, you know, that's the first thing you expect, right? Is for her to try to disprove the merit of the allegation itself, right? And saying that it's baseless. It means it lacks merit, right? It lacks any legitimacy. So that kind of goes towards, okay, then what was the purpose of you putting this down? Why did you put this information down about something in Virginia? Why? I'm not even going to go into what she said because I think we all kind of can read that, and it's kind of well known that she put this stuff down on her taxes. And you don't play with the IRS. Don't play with them. Now, if you did something in error, you get an auditor and you fix it, and you keep living. But she's not trying to do that. I could appreciate her admitted, oh, you know what, that was a horrible mistake, and I am willing to take the hit, and I'm going to pay for the tax fee or whatever it is and keep living. And that's it. They might be more willing to work with you if you go to them and say, this was an honest error. This was not something I was trying to do to defraud anything, or I'm trying to get over on the IRS. No, I want to correct it. Let me correct my tax statements and my documents and get it together. That's it. People will still talk and try to make it seem like it's so bad, but at the end of the day, if the IRS is pleased and happy, who gives a damn? Like, that should be kind of the goal here, Letitia James. Look, you keep calling it baseless. We know what we're seeing. Now you're just insulting our intelligence. Do better. Come on now. I don't want to see her lose her job. I really don't. But judges are going to jail. I mean, let's be real, people. Judges are getting arrested and going to jail now. Letitia James, it does not behoove you to keep going on this tour about baseless. We know what we're reading. I'm sitting here reporting on a freaking judge here in Fulton County that is facing 15 charges and needs to be removed from the bench. We know what we're reading in these documents. You just need to explain why and try to correct it. And then if you get charged, she still gets charged. But at least pay the fines and keep living. Like, you know, I'm pay this fine off. I'm gonna fix this because I don't want this. There too many people that's relying on me for, you know, doing my job, and I have lawsuits I filed. I want to be able to see those cases to the end. And I'm gonna pull up one that I've reported on myself. Just because she filed the lawsuit on something I have been researching for at least 2 years. And it's like all that work I'm about to see go down the drain because she can't say oops, oopsie. I mean, I effed up that, and let me fix it and move on in life. Like, come on now, Letitia James.
Interviews calling these mortgage fraud charges baseless. You'll remember that she's being accused of lying about one of the rooms in one of her residences to get a better interest rate. She's accused of lying about where her principal place of residency even is, and she's accused of lying about her being married to her own father.
Turns out you can't have your principal residence in Virginia and be the Attorney General of New York. Turns out you can't on a mortgage form say that your dad is actually your husband, and you also can't say that you have a 4-unit property that's actually 5 units. Those are the three
Is
things
she
that
actually
looks
married?
like she did over a long period of time, and yet she had the gall to go after President Trump.
All of these lies are absolutely disgusting. We Americans have to demand more from our officials, especially one who is the state's top prosecutor. No one is above the law. She says these allegations are baseless, that it's a political hit job, that this is just a revenge tour for President Donald Trump. But you know what she doesn't say? She doesn't say, I never did it. She doesn't say, I'm innocent. She doesn't say, I never lied. She doesn't say any of these things, not once, and it's not a coincidence. Calling an allegation baseless is not the same as saying that you are innocent. In legal vernacular, baseless means that you don't think there's enough evidence to convict you. It's a way that attorneys communicate to attack the prosecution's case while not denying the conduct itself. But innocent people don't speak this way. Innocent people say, I didn't do it. They say whoever's making these allegations is lying. They say I'm being framed. But that's not what TT James is saying. And that should raise an immediate red flag in everyone's head. When Big Tish is doing all these interviews talking about Donald Trump, she has a lot to say about him and the specific facts of all his alleged cases. But when it comes to her, you get no facts at all. You just get these baseless allegations.
So his investigation, he exaggerated. Let me emphasize that.
I like Chris Hayes, though.
The value of his assets to the tune of millions and millions, and was able to secure favorable insurance and interest rates. As opposed to, and I'm sure Chris will probably get to this, they're claiming that I engaged in mortgage fraud. That I somehow decided that I was a resident of...
Yeah, why did she talk like that? She's like, and I had a dream one day that, all the goose laid the golden eggs. And, I just followed the yellow brick road. And, we just kind of held hands with Cookie Monster and Big Bird and Ernie. Amen. What are we doing? Just say what you're trying to say, woman. Just say what you need to say. What are you talking like that for? Let's get some comments in. Can you please, if you can, either of my moms, please drop the lead attorney's YouTube channel in the chat. Make sure we show him some love and give him all the credit he deserves for that. Oh man, been a sub of his for years. Letitia. I know, tisk. You're correct. Her eyes tell the tale. Oh my God. How do y'all hate GB? How you doing, sweetie? How you doing? Oh, they got the bases. Oh, yeah, you guys are the minute she asked dad's name. I can't believe this. Is she even married? Why would you do that, girl? Letitia James. Yeah, come on, man. That's horrible. And it's weird. You talk about your father, your husband, like if that be true. Because, people love to be fantastical with dumb shit. But come on. Your father? Seriously? You're not that hung up. Yeah, the top fell on the laundry basket. You're not that hard up for some cash or anything with the IRS. Why are you making up stuff? Oh, oh God. All right. Hey, Jeff, how you doing? Everybody come in. GB. Follow the yellow brick road. Yeah, this is the thing. She talks like, she's in some church or something. Like, pass the basket around and God will bless you. He'll give you 10-fold of the tithe and offering that you're leaving and giving unto him. What are you doing? Just talk. Just talk. Jesus Christ. All right, let's get back to it. Look at Chris Hayes. Yeah, look at it. Look at Chris Hayes. Look at the look in his face with his gorgeous eyes. He got some beautiful eyes. Oh my God. Yeah, look how he's looking. He's kind of like, I'm not impressed right now. I'm not impressed right now. This sucks. This really sucks right now. I bet he's sitting here. This is the moment where he realized, I really regret bringing her home now. I regret being on my platform for right now.
Virginia,
Back
which
to
would
it.
be some commute every morning to the office of 28 Liberty.
You're trying to smile through it.
That somehow,
Like, oh no,
you know, I should be held to the same standard as Donald Trump. But somehow, what I did was basically similar to what Donald Trump engaged in.
Did you just hear this lady
Yo,
be
what did you
shocked at
say?
the fact that she should be held to the same standard as Donald Trump? And if you're making all of these allegations that Donald Trump committed mortgage fraud, but you yourself are marrying your own father, you are lying about the number of rooms in one of your residences, you're even lying about where your principal residence is. How is that not mortgage fraud itself? But she never specifically denies any of these allegations. This lady
because she's an attorney who went to law school first. Y'all know attorneys lie like hell, right? We all know attorneys lie like hell. They went to law school. The goal is we learn the law and then learn a loophole. Yeah. Because the ones who really aren't knowledgeable, you know what they're going to do? They're going to sit around and they're going to dance around the subject and try to misinterpret law, misquote law, just so they can prove they dumb moot point that no one cares about. But yet and still, how many times has it worked? She's being an attorney right now. She's an attorney. She's being an attorney right now. She is an attorney. She just so happened to be the top attorney in the state of New York. This is ridiculous. This is embarrassing, man. And I'm not even in New York. Oh, yeah, we got DA Fannie Willis. Oh, Lord, Fannie Willis, please just go away. I don't know what she's doing anymore. I mean, you're not running around with some married boyfriend. Super stupid number two. You're sitting here just going after the same two cases just over and over and over again, but you got corrupt judges that's facing 15 charges. Say something. Put out a statement about these people that are allegedly coming up missing from going out on interviews with jobs. You can't say that that's not happening. Sandy Springs Police Department can't speak for the entire state of Georgia. What are we doing? Yeah, this is crazy. So yeah, you were right, the lead attorney. She's speaking lawyer talk. She's talking like an attorney.
Refuses to say that she's innocent.
I will respond to these baseless allegations at the appropriate time and in the appropriate way.
In a response and documents.
Confident that it will not result in any criminal indictment or action against me, and that it is nothing more than a revenge tour.
This is so ridiculous.
This is
she's saying that
okay,
she's confident that none.
Yeah, y'all are screwed in New York. All right. She's screwed. She's screwed. She's done. I can't. My temperament won't allow me to just sit here and keep listening to that. So the lead attorney is just going down the path of what I was about to say. It's some BS. The end. And I didn't want to play the whole video, but love you, lead attorney. Thank you for covering the video. You guys make sure you check it out if you want to watch the full video in its entirety. We got to move on. I just wanted to pull this information up right here to show you all why I'm really disappointed. This came from Letitia James, New York State Attorney General. Okay. This is regarding the lawsuit she filed against Novatech FX and AWS Mining for defrauding investors of more than $1 billion. I think it was something along the lines of $1.2 billion last year. This Novatech FX story I had reported on for 2 whole years. I have a playlist on my channel of Novatech FX and that Ponzi pyramid scheme that it was, and the reporting that I did on it. And it took 2 whole years to finally get some real attention and movement with it. I was hoping CoffeeZilla would have covered it. He's a huge YouTuber that covers like Ponzi schemes and pyramid schemes. But this is, maybe he will. But 2 years of reporting, I have a full playlist about it. They tried to defraud my mother, and that was the worst thing they could have done. So they got 2 years of reporting and research out of me. And I help people fill out SEC claims. I did one myself. I even Put it in a video. Show proof of it. Filed an SEC complaint on behalf of others. And then she finally files a federal lawsuit as the New York AG last year, June 6, 2024. New York AG Letitia James today sued cryptocurrency trading company Novatech FX. It was a scam. It's still a scam. They were just taking people's money. They weren't trading any crypto. None. Its founders, Cynthia and Eddie Petion. This Cynthia lady was about as bad, if not worse, than super stupid. She literally called herself Reverend Dr. CEO. And she did not have a degree to be a doctor or reverend of anything. But she called herself. She adorned herself with those titles. That's how much of a narcissist she was. This is why super stupid was peas and carrots, along with her goons and her cult followers. They're peas and carrots compared to Cynthia and Eddie Petion, who defrauded 1.2 billion with a B out of people around the world. Not just in the Haitian communities, around the world. I had people in Mexico, people in Australia, people in the Grenadines, people in Canada, of course the US, leaving comments asking, can you please do a video on how to file an SEC complaint? How do we know we're getting our money back? I lost $40,000, $50,000 in this cryptocurrency. What's to happen? I can't take care of my kids. I put money up for one commenter. It broke my heart. Said he had been saving $40,000, $50,000 to pay for his daughter's wedding. And he called himself trying to get some money back and make some money with this crypto scam. And he put in 40 grand. And the recruiters were very aggressive. They would say, don't withdraw. You can't withdraw. You got to leave it in there. While the ones who were in on the scam, like the top tier of the pyramid scheme, they were pulling out, but they were pulling out other people's money because that's how pyramid schemes work. All you're doing is bringing people in with fresh money, and the people at the top get the money from the people down at the bottom that's coming in. And you're just taking other people's money and just circulating that money all the way to the top. And the only people who really benefit are the people at the top tier of the pyramid scheme. So this man puts $40,000 in, hoping to get back, a profit of some sort to help pay for his daughter's wedding. He said, I lost it all. And my daughter's to get married, and it was like less than 2 or 3 months or something like that. He was so distraught. People sent me comments. Another couple, another gentleman that actually was defrauded had moved in his parents since COVID, because of the height of COVID. Moved in his parents, his elderly parents, was taking care of them all. And he put in like 50, 60 grand and lost it all. He was like, I have my parents here. I have a family. I have a spouse. I have kids. And I just lost all this money. These are real stories of real people that were hurting, that lost money to this stupid pyramid scheme. Yes, I went in on them for 2 years. Super stupid. I promise you, is light work compared to the videos and the reporting and the research that I did on Novatech. And that goon of a moron of a demon, Reverend Dr. Cynthia Petion and her dumbass husband. I went in on them. You thought I was savage with super stupid. Check out that playlist. 2 years worth of savagery. And not just on her, including her recruiters. Those who were out here committing wire fraud and promoting this pyramid scheme on their social media platforms and YouTube channels. And every chance I got, I told them they can kiss my ass and go to hell. Because they were defrauding people, defrauding their own platform. They knew it was a scam. Most of these promoters knew that it was a scam. And they brought in people and they didn't care how much money they were taking from them. They just pulled them on in. And I called them out every chance I got, y'all. And I felt pretty good about it. And Letitia James files the lawsuit. After 2 years, after everybody waiting, pleading with the SEC, who took their damn sweet time, they finally filed a lawsuit in Florida. I think in the Eastern Division of Florida. last year as well. Later on, it was like 2-3 months after this. Then the SEC finally filed the lawsuit. But this gave people hope, seeing her, a fantastic attorney general, big dog up there in New York, filed the lawsuit. And now you go and do some nonsense like this, Letitia James. You just effing up. You have no idea what this means to people who were trying to get their money back, at least want to see justice done to these thieving ass petty. It doesn't change the fact that Novatech is still a pyramid scheme and a fraud. It doesn't change it at all. And that's what happens when someone like Letitia James get caught up in some nonsense about housing or mortgage fraud, because now you getting caught up in that crap is going to have these scammers thinking, well, she did that. How do you all know that this lawsuit against us is valid? See, that's what happens when you go out and you make, it could have been a mistake, but she's not even saying that. This is what happens when you get caught up in some BS. It invalidates a lot of the work you put in to catching others BS. There could have been real crimes committed by Trump, but it invalidates it. Just like with DA Fannie Willis. When you sitting around here doing all the nonsense you're doing with some married dude, it invalidates all the work you put in. And this just human nature for us to sit here and say, you know, especially if it's somebody we like, right? Oh, she was going after the president. Now look what she did. Now she can leave the president alone. Then she ain't got nothing to say because they equal. Like, it invalidates all that work and all the effort put into catching bad guys like Novatech, like these dumbass peons. But thank goodness the SEC lawsuit is still there and valid. I'm just disappointed in seeing this, you know, this go down the pipeline like it is. I'm disappointed in Letitia James doing something so what seems to be boneheaded and rudimentary. Get someone else to do your taxes for you. Why are you doing your own taxes? You ain't that broke. She making 6 figures. Get somebody else to do your damn taxes, girl. You don't have to do your own taxes, and be honest on it. And if you end up owing, you just owe. Mortgage fraud, was it worth your career? And having this stain on your career, Letitia James, was it worth it? Oh my God. So, y'all, oh Lord have mercy. This is what disappoints me, because I know what people went through and how people suffered and were hurt. Millions, billions of dollars. It was like $1.2 billion defrauded. This article speaks specifically to Haitian New Yorkers because there was a federal lawsuit filed from an attorney. And you guys, I'll scroll down. As a matter of fact, I'm going to just give you all the link so y'all can see for yourselves. There you go. And you guys can take time to read that when you have a chance, this article. Like I said, I have a whole playlist on the reporting that I did on Novatech. And I'm talking about raw reporting, pulling up documents and stuff in Norway and in the Netherlands. And, you know, all kinds of LLCs and other registered licenses and businesses, you know, they allegedly had. I mean, just 2 years worth. And the last thing we need is Letitia James effing up like this to where it's now going to have an impact on these types of lawsuits that she's filed, where it's legitimate. She called out a cryptocurrency scam. These people need to face some real prison time. But now the defense is going to go in and be like, well, this lawsuit came from Letitia James, and you see what she did. Who the hell needs that? Like, come on, man. So it is disappointing. It is disappointing. But the SEC still has their lawsuit filed with I think the Eastern Division of. I covered it in a video. You guys can check out my playlist on that. In Florida, because that was the last registered known address of these dumbass peons. I think they moved to Cuba, Panama, or something like that. Listen, if the United States wants you, they'll get you. I was watching a true crime story where this guy fled to Indonesia in Bali. That's where they picked him up. The United States made a deal with the government of Indonesia, and we got his ass, and we don't have an extradition treaty with him. Not with Indonesia. At that time, we didn't. They picked his ass up. He had murdered someone. He was a police officer too. That's what made it worse. And I was watching a true crime story yesterday on that, and they went and got his ass out of Bali. And he went there thinking, oh, they're not going to get me because the U.S. doesn't have an extradition treaty with him. The U.S. can make an agreement or a deal and get your ass out of any country we want to get you out of. And then, I mean, we got a WNBA player out of Russia. Are you kidding? No, we know how to get people out of countries if we want them. It's, so going to Panama, the Pettyons, you dumbasses, is not going to save you from anything. We'll get you if we want you. But it just, oh man, it's like a stain, and it's very, very, very disappointing and irritating that mortgage fraud somehow is more valuable than all of the work she put into filing legitimate lawsuits against these, scammers that deserve to go to prison. Prison is what they should be for all the rest of their life. $1.2 billion, they don't never need to get out. They need to stay there forever. But this is where we are in life. This is where we are in life, people. So. If you guys want to take time to read this information, oh man, it's in depth. The lawsuit was well written, well composed. But oh man, Letitia James, you just effing up right now. You gotta stop. All right, y'all, we're gonna talk about the twins that were found in the mountains of Georgia here, and it's sad because, like I said, I'm a mom. I have two boys, and to hear these 19-20-year-old twins, a mother lost both her kids, like two of her children, at the same time. That's heartbreaking, no matter how you put it. So there's a few videos that I want to play on that.
Because I use
y'all ads, we gotta have them. So we're gonna check this out. You guys let me know if you can hear. And I'm gonna be following this story because this is in Georgia. All right, this is in Georgia, and it's man. I'm gonna be honest. I cannot ever imagine or fathom anything happening to my kids. I told you all yesterday, something happened to my kids. I'm reshifting the gravitational pull of this planet. Everybody gonna go, like the whole planet about to go. Earth is gonna just be shifted out of its orbit, and it's gonna just slowly glide into the moon. There's lots of things are gonna happen. Something happened to my kids. I'm just saying. I don't even know exactly what I'm going to do. I know it's going to be a global event. I can't imagine it. So put a 1 in the chat if you can hear. And let's go.
Store surveillance videos left them with more questions than answers. Nearly 2 months after their loved one, twin teenagers were found dead in the North Georgia mountains.
Authorities ruled Kadir and Nazir Lewis deaths a murder-suicide. Both teens had suffered gunshot wounds, but their loved ones suspect foul play. Fox 5's Deidre Dukes is live at a gas station in Lawrenceville. Deidre, you spoke with the teen's family this afternoon. What did they have to say?
That's right. Family members telling me that both teens were in college and were doing well. Now, they did share that the teen's mother, GBI, showed her video of the teens here at this gas station the night before their bodies were found, some 90 miles away. Now, the teens are seen entering and exiting the store. Nothing seemed amiss.
It felt like torture every single day, and not knowing what happened to them.
The teens' aunts and other family members are desperate for answers. Nearly 2 months after the...
Y'all say hello to my mom in the chat. What are you doing, Mom? Hi, Rhonda. Hi, Booze. I'm late. I want to say hello to everybody else coming in. Shadow Seeker. Welcome, welcome, welcome. You guys are giving some great comment here. Hey, Cher, how you doing? You're not late. I was just kind of ranting about Letitia James and just getting it off my chest. Oh no, I don't know about this. Yeah, these twins here. I've been kind of listening to the story. Not that I'd be going to Russia, but good to know. I've been wondering about the twins. Yeah. Was this the suspected kidnapped twins? They're trying to say that these twins had a Sui Merc pact between them. Like one took out one and then took out himself. Like it's crazy. You got to have evidence to prove that. You know, you need gunshot residue. Have they even done that on their fingertips? You know, you need to. Where's the autopsy? Then there was a volunteer firefighter that was arrested for taking pictures of their deceased bodies. Like, what are you doing? That's nasty. Like, why are you doing that? It's disrespectful. It's weird. It's nasty to me almost. So you're taking pictures and you sharing it on your social media. Why would you think that would be okay to take pictures of deceased bodies like this? No respect. And he was charged with that. Probably got out, you know. Hashtag Yellowstone. Oh yeah. Yellowstone would erupt. Lots of things. Man, oh God. That whole continental shift is gonna be it's gonna be real. Oh my God. I just, this is heartbreaking. Y'all, this is heartbreaking. It really is. And I've been wanting to talk about this for the last, couple weeks, but I'm finally getting around to it. And this is something else. This is the mother's worst nightmare. And they were supposed to be going out of town. Catching a flight to go visit some friends. They hadn't been too long, like graduated and everything. Hey, Miss A, how you doing? Hey, Jeff. Everybody say hello to my mom, Shadow Seeker. I hope I'm not skipping anybody. If I am, charge it to my head, not to my heart. I appreciate all of you tuning in. Hit the like button for me as well. But they were supposed to be going to fly out. They had their airline tickets still found on them when they were found. How did these kids end up there? Let's get back to
bodies of brothers Kadir and Nazir Lewis were discovered in the North Georgia mountains, some 90 miles from home.
Someone has to know something.
Samira and Sabria Bronner say GBI investigators showed the teen's mother surveillance video, which showed the 19-year-old twins at this Shell gas station on Hurricane Shoals Road in Lawrenceville at around 10 the night of March 7th. A hiker discovered their bodies at around 11 the next morning atop Bell Mountain in Towns County, about 2 hours from their Gwinnett County residence. Authorities said a preliminary investigation revealed the deaths were a murder-suicide. Grieving family members suspect.
Based on what evidence? GBI, you suck right now. Don't just say some dumb shit like that and you have no evidence to prove it. One of them would have to have gun residue on his hands. Is there evidence of that? Was there gun residue test done? Because if not, then you can't even say that, because one of them would have had to have the gun in their hand. This is why people don't trust the police. They don't trust investigators. They don't trust those in these legal authorities. And the GBI is just the Georgia Bureau of Investigation. It's like, kind of your own state's version of the FBI. This is why people find it hard to trust them. It's so incompetent to say, oh, it's a Merc-Sui pack type thing. Based on what evidence you still need? How did this go again? How did they get up there on top of a mountain? Somebody obviously had to lure them up. I highly doubt these kids just let's just go to the mountains up here and just do something. Both of them? Like, this is ridiculous. It's so uncharacteristic. And you know what, to me also, it's insulting as a parent to hear the GBI say something like that and not care about the fact that this mother knows her children. Mothers, we know our kids. And all of the family is like, listen, the kids were not depressed, upset, or sad, or angry. They weren't hiding anything. It's not always the situation like that. Don't force that on these kids and on the family if that's not the case. These GBI investigators don't know these kids. They don't know this family. And yet they're sitting here making these stupid ass claims and they're not even showing evidence to prove it. And it just saying this is the cause of death. That's it. You have no idea what this family is about or what these kids may have been going through. They haven't even produced any social media to anything to show that they've sent out messages that show signs of this. No evidence to point to that whatsoever. And yet they keep hoppering down and doubling down on it because they're morons. Morons. The Georgia Bureau of Investigations is acting like a bunch of morons that can't read and actually do some investigative work. And yes, I'm saying it. That's no different than when a police officer tries to tell a family, my 13-year-old, my 12-year-old is missing. Well, maybe they ran away. I don't give a fuck about what you think. Maybe. What you talking about? Maybe they ran. That's not even an excuse. What do you mean maybe they ran away? No, they didn't run away. But then they keep hopping on it. The police, they keep saying that, well, you know, kids run away at the age, but that's not the case here. So stop saying that because you don't know my child. You don't know what home life was like. You have no proof of that. So just do your job and go find them. Help me find them, or else be humiliated if I have to. Like that's what it comes down to now. We have to do our own investigative work. Yes, we do. This is why YouTubers end up doing a better job than the police department or the investigative units, because we actually will sit down and research and look up information and talk to the families and interview them. Because GBI is not doing a damn thing. They're just saying what they want it to be and not even getting to know the family or the twins. It's just a pack. They just took themselves and each other. What the you talking about? Based on what? So now the public has to demand that this investigation produces evidence to fit that. Because otherwise, you're just saying this and you have no proof. This is the epitome of no proof to validate that BS, but you want people to accept it. And you get mad when someone calls you incompetent, GBI. You want to get upset when YouTubers do a better job at solving a crime than you do? Yeah, just take that L like the dumbasses that you're being right now. Because we're going to do it. I hate to see this. This is what they're doing. What brings this more to the forefront is the fact that the GBI is being just piss poor about how they're going about handling this case. That's what makes it even worse. They're not even trying. They're just, it is what it is. Fuck, go to hell. GBI can go to hell. Period. The end. YouTubers will do it. We'll do it. We'll interview the family. I hope I can reach out and be able to interview the mom, any relatives. We'll help them bring some resolution to this, because the GBI is being good for nothing right now. Good for nothing. Absolutely useless. Yep. This is what happens when, incompetent people take on those roles and then they go in and they don't know what the hell they're doing. Forget evidence. I guess that doesn't exist. And now we have these two kids. The family's not getting any closure. And they keep saying, no, that's not characteristic of my sons. I know my children. They weren't depressed. They weren't upset. They weren't feeling any type of way that will make them want to do something like that. F out of here. This is how the mom feels. And she's like, no, that's not true. And it's more irritating to have to combat the dumb shit from the GBI than it is just dealing and grieving and mourning over the loss of her two children. The more frustration is we have to sit here and keep combating the dumbass lies coming from the GBI, who's not doing anything. That's the worst part about it. That's what makes this even more distressing for the mother. Let's get back to it.
The teens were victims of foul play.
I know that something happened to them. I know that they were murdered.
Loved ones say the surveillance video showed the teens going in and out of the convenience store. Nothing seemed to miss.
To know that they was alive, I'm like, what happened from right there? How did it end up out in the mountains?
The teens' aunts tell Fox 5 they were scheduled to fly to Boston the morning of March 7th to visit friends, but missed their flight. Their airline tickets were still in their wallets when their bodies were discovered the next day. Loved ones say the teens had never visited the area where they were found and urge anyone with information in the case to come forward.
We need closure. We want to know what happened to them. And whoever did that to them, they need to be prosecuted.
Yes, they do. Yeah, this is the thing that it just amps me up so bad about this. You know, it's like this. And I'm gonna play this one last video, and then we're gonna get to the.
Hey everybody, it's Tony Robbins and Dean Graziosi.
Sorry, you gotta have ads, but
it's deaths of twin brothers from Gwinnett County.
This is what makes it so hard. It is the fact that, you know, and one of y'all said it, Sharon. You're right. She can't even grieve properly because she's having to sit here and say, no, that's not true. That something happened, something went wrong. And the GBI just pretty much gave up because they're incompetent pricks that just want to force that and force people to accept it. And it's like the more people push back, the less they do, I guess. She can't even grieve because of the frustration of this nonsense from an entire investigative bureau that's supposed to be doing a better job in gathering evidence. Go on that fact-finding mission. Why was this so-called volunteer firefighter up there taking pictures? He the only one up there doing that. There has to be something, some cameras, something. Some DNA, something that leads to that trail. And they're not even interested in it. You know, they can't even prove that the twins were having issues to want to do something to harm themselves or each other. Like, it's so crazy. So I just want to play this one last video clip and we're going to get to the main event.
Family says they have seen new surveillance video that changes everything.
So the video shows 19-year-old Khaidir and Nazir Lewis alive just hours before their bodies were found. The GBI says a hiker discovered the twins at the top of Bell Mountain in Hiawassee, nearly 90 miles from their Lawrenceville home.
11 Alive's Cody Alcorn has been following this case very closely. He's joining us now live from the Lawrenceville gas station where a surveillance camera captured some of the brothers' final moments. Cody?
So, man, that's so crazy.
Jennifer and Ron, the GBI, originally came out believing this was a murder-suicide, but the family has never believed that.
No one believes it.
It's now been 52 days since the twins were found. And tonight, this video capturing the twins here behind me is fueling even more questions for this family.
And everyone else with a brain.
Nothing makes sense.
Doesn't make sense.
You know, I'm even more clueless now.
Samira Bronner and her twin sister Sabria are aunts to Khaidir and Nazir Lewis. They say the brothers appear in surveillance video at this Shell gas station in Lawrenceville on Friday night, March 7th.
At night at 10:30 p.m.
The station sits on Hurricane Shoals Road near Collins Road,
Yeah,
just
and
9 minutes from the family's home.
They pretty much walked inside the gas station, walked out.
Nothing in the video appeared to stand out.
Drinking water, eating snacks, and dressed how they would normally dress.
But 12 hours later, their bodies are found on Bell Mountain, shot. The mountain is nearly 90 miles away.
Yeah, this is so crazy. They were 9 minutes from home at a gas station, and then 10 hours later, they somewhere in the mountaintops of Georgia. 90 miles away. Are you kidding? You know, every all these kids out here, some of them are not depressed at all. Some of them are happy and love life and they enjoy life. They love their family. They are greatly loved. You can tell this family loved them. This family loved the kids. They loved each other. They took care of them. They looked like they were very smart. You see graduation photos. You see photos of them dressed nicely. Like they just had some goals they wanted to achieve in life. They had a whole life ahead of them. All these kids are not just walking around here depressed and upset. I don't even speak that into my children's lives. And if my kids are having a hard time, I talk to them. I pray that their father does and that they know that they're loved. They have family that loves them. And I'm there with them. When I'm not physically with them, I'm there with them in spirit. I can discern when something's wrong with my kids. Yeah, that's I think every mother has that intuition when something's off. But all these kids aren't just walking around here depressed and upset with life. So, I mean, that's just such a slack garbage thing just to throw this off. Is it frozen? Can y'all see me? Hold on. I'm sorry. Hold on. My camera's it went out. What is going on? That's something. I'm sorry. My camera's not working. Oh, sorry guys. Yeah, it's just kind of black. Okay. Do you all mind if I just finish this out with my camera off? If I just stop the cam, would that be okay? Because I really want to get through the video. Will that be all right? Put a 1 in the chat if it's okay that I just cut the camera off. We good with that? Yes. Yeah, I did not even notice my camera was off. I think the Booger Bears is messing. Oh, the Booger Bears they messing. Do it. We listening. Cool. Awesome. All right, y'all. But I just, like I said, all these kids aren't going around here just having a hard time, and they're not all depressed and all going, hard through life. There's some who are, and their cries for help should be taken legitimate. But there's some who are just happy and they enjoy life and they're fine. They're not, they're not having any issues like that will lead to them wanting to harm themselves or anyone else. So it's just unfortunate, to say the least, that these people want to just, the GBI wants to just sit here and make it seem like, oh, it's just it was just a murk suicide type thing, and that's it. It's, are you kidding? Yeah, just keep distressing the mother. It's sad. Okay, we're gonna get back to this. We're at the main event. Y'all, we using Public Ops. If you have not seen Public Ops, y'all know he's like one of my favorite YouTuber that's doing this great content and videos. We're talking about Kim Alston. Raise your hand if you know who she is. My prayer goes out to the twins. Let me finalize this. My prayers go out to the family. I'm going to keep reporting on the story with the twins. Maybe, hopefully, one of their family members, somebody who watches my video, and leave a comment or email me, reach out to me. I would love to interview the mother or the aunts, to kind of get more of this story out there, because the GBI sucks ass right now and they're not doing anything. So I'm not happy with their so-called progress, or what they, I'm not happy with none of that. So, but we're going to continue to keep our eye on it. This is happening right here in Georgia, y'all, right in Georgia. So we're going to keep our eyes out on that. And I'm going to keep reporting on that. Listen, this is what we all do, right? There's a lot of content out here. Super stupid. I'm going to keep reporting on her until she goes to prison. The goons can kick rocks. But those same goons aren't watching other content that content creators like myself are doing. They're not watching our other stuff. So obviously they want to keep hearing about our reporting on Dolton and Super Stupid and her dumb goons. And we're going to keep doing it until she goes to prison. They can kiss my ass. All right, moving on. This is Public Ops, y'all. And I pulled this video up because I wanted to just kind of highlight the portion of the video he touches on regarding Kim Alston. From my research so far, she was a code inspection enforcement officer of some sort and was not certified. So it brings into question, just like I said about Letitia James, when you do weird things and you got all these lawsuits pending out here, Now it brings into question the legitimacy of your work. But if you're not certified or licensed to be any code enforcement officer of any sort, yes, it is going to bring into question the legitimacy of the inspections that she's done. And I know she has done an inspection on the St. Patrick's, because I went over that information. It's on the membership channel. I got the foyer documents from the village of Dolton. I posted all that information up, and there were 3 inspection reports in that. One of them was done by Kim Alston. If you're not certified or licensed, why are you doing it? So we're going to just touch on this video, and then I'm going to get to the video I made basically of what, 3 lawsuits. Well, she's named as a defendant. It's just, you can't make this up. Someone's named in lawsuits. And yet it's still, you know, I don't know how she thinks that this is good for her. You're named in 2 or 3 major lawsuits, Kim Austin. I told you I was going to talk about her, so we're doing it. All right, put a 1 in the chat if you can hear and see. Let's get to it.
She is going to get fired.
The same meeting 1 hour later.
Now, code enforcement, Kim. Good evening, Mayor, trustees.
Hold on, guys.
The same meeting 1 hour later.
Now, code enforcement, Kim. Good evening, Mayor, trustees, residents. We wrote 729 tickets totaling $129,653. And that ends my report.
Is that something she proud of? Y'all, what's going on with this fuzziness? I don't know what's going on. This is a little fuzzy.
The same thing to Long
Yeah, it's
Island
like fuzzy on
audit.
her part.
That's also on video.
It's not my video, y'all. It's
that she might as well quit her job right now because she is going to get fired.
The same meeting 1 hour later.
Now, code enforcement, Kim.
Yeah, it's not my video.
Good evening, Mayor, trustees, residents. We wrote 729 tickets totaling $129,653.
What?
And that ends my report.
All right. All those tickets being paid for by residents in the village of Dolton, by someone that does not have any certification or license to even write those dumbass tickets in the first place. Now it brings into question, should these tickets be even valid? And should these people be trying to get their money back? Because how can we trust that the inspections or the tickets were valid if you're not even certified or licensed to do anything that you're doing? Wasn't she the only one writing those $500 tickets? Was she the only one writing those $500 tickets? It is. You're going to jail illegal. Wasn't she the one sharing? Because there were $500 tickets being given out to people because they were parking to get pizza or something to that extent. Well, I know that was written by the police department, but wasn't she writing out $500 tickets or writing out tickets that people were paying astronomical amount of money? And let's not forget the inspection reports, right? Because those inspection reports, let's take the St. Patrick's, for example. They had to go and hire all of these contractors to get all this work done. And probably didn't have to even require all of that because who knows if she knew what she was looking at or inspecting. Who knows? Can you trust her knowledge and expertise when she doesn't really have a license or certificate to back that up? And shouldn't you be certified to be a code enforcement inspector of any sort? Wouldn't you be certified for that? I just can't believe she's proud of the number of tickets that she's written out and all this money she made off of people who probably could not afford it. Kim Austin, you can kick rock.
So on video.
My God.
That she might as well quit her job right now because she is going to get fired.
The same meeting 1 hour later.
Now, code enforcement, Kim.
Good evening, Mayor, trustees, residents. We wrote 729 tickets totaling $129,653. And that ends my report.
Oh my God.
All right.
This disgusting attitude from one of our
Disgusting.
employees
Look at her
right in
smirking.
front of the so-called mayor. One of
Keep smirking, girl, when you go to court and then those judgments are issued against you. I want to see you smirk and smile then, weirdo. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. So I want to get to who, Lord, the video I did where I just need to get all her information up so we can go through it. Y'all, this is a lawsuit that she has. Oh God, this is a lawsuit she has against it's been filed against her rather. And I'm gonna see if I can hold on a second because this is I want to make sure you all can read it. All right. Let me see if I can pull that up and get a closer. Yes. Zoom in on it. I want to be able to zoom in. Okay. I'm going to share this app. I'm going to go back to the video for the other lawsuits, but for this one, this is on Trellis Law, and I want to be able to show this so you all can see it. Boom. Y'all. So she has been named in at least 2 or 3 good lawsuits. One of them we actually covered regarding Lawrence Gardner. You guys remember that he's the owner of the Yvette Towing and Construction Warehouse building that had 2 fires, and the second one was a combustion, basically. And he had filed a lawsuit last year against Dum Dum and Kim Alston and Lacey Potato Head. So that's a federal lawsuit, by the way. Okay. Now you have another lawsuit here from Mario Vaughn, who was, if I believe correctly from my research, was another code enforcement inspector. So at once upon a time, they were colleagues who filed a lawsuit in the Circuit Court of Cook County, Illinois. And you see him here listed, and the case number is 2024 L is in love 004871. Okay. And he filed a lawsuit against the village of Dolton and Kim Austin in her individual and official capacity, because you got to cover both ends, right? Oh my God. Now comes the plaintiff, Mario Vaughn, buying through his attorneys, Castardo Law LLC, for his verified complaint against the defendants, Village of Dolton Municipal Corporation, Kim Austin, in her individual and official capacity, and in support, therefore, states and alleges as follows. He is an individual that resides in Dolton. The defendant, Village of Dolton, is a municipal corporation in Illinois where he was employed. Vaughn was employed at all relevant times herein. Kim Austin is an individual that resides in Cook County, Illinois, and was at all relevant times herein the director of inspection services in Dolton with no certificate. The director. Are you kidding? The director. Yeah, this is something else. With no certificate. Director of inspection services, because Super Stupid knows how to pick them. She's such a goof. Yeah, okay, my camera's still not working. All right. Super Stupid is an individual that resides in Dolton, Illinois, and at all times, relevant times herein, the mayor of Dolton and supervisor Thornton Township. Keith Friedman keeps coming up, and he needs to go to prison, and was an individual that resides. I'm putting my own spin on that. That resides in Cook County, Illinois, and was at all time relevant times herein the village administrator of Dolton, and was employed as special assistant to the supervisor of Thornton Township because, reasons. He still owes the village of Robbins over $90,000. Vaughn began working for Dolton on or about August 9 of 2019 as an inspector in the inspection services department As a part of his job, Vaughn inspected residential and commercial properties in Dolton to make sure the properties were up to village building code. I hope Vaughn was certified. While employed with Dolton, Vaughn was a dedicated employee that enjoyed the work he did. He planned to stay with Dolton for the remainder of his career. Shortly after starting with Dolton, on or about August 19, 2019, Dolton resident Jacqueline Smith complained of excessive mold in a home she was renting from Super Stupid. Look at that. You know, because she was a slumlord. Did y'all forget about that? Did we forget about she was a slumlord? Super Super was a slumlord. It's in court documents. She was god awful. Oh Lord. Excessive mold in a home. It should have been deemed uninhabitable. I mean, at so many times you can only make that complaint but so many times until it's just time to move and sue her ass and then say, you know, somebody else need to come out and deem this home uninhabitable because no one should be living here. But that's how much fear she put into people too. She scared people to death and used these morons to threaten people even the more. So at that time, Henry was still a trustee of Dolton and was not yet mayor. September 3rd, 2019, Dolton Village Inspector Brian Thigpen went to the home with Hinyard and stated that the mold and water leaks had been abated and deemed the home livable. However, Mrs. Smith realized that the issues had not been abated. With the help of a community activist, called the village to complain about the mold and water leaks once more. You know, when you have a goon that's sitting here threatening and intimidating people, and then they have to go and get activists and YouTubers and other people to help them in the fight. Explain to me how you have goons and morons complaining about that, but they don't acknowledge the intimidation factor from Super Stupid herself. Wouldn't you think they would just want to address that with her if they have the spine to do it? Funny how they don't have the balls in the spine to confront Super Stupid about her BS, but they want to complain about an activist. You know, because reasons. Ugh. All right. After the village inspected the rental property again, the home was deemed not approved for occupancy on October 15, 2019. Additionally, Mrs. Smith also called CBS 2 News Chicago about the story because Hinyard continued to receive Housing Choice Voucher Program, HCV, which is Section 8 funding for the rental property, despite the home being in an unlivable condition. The story gained media attention. Media exposed that for years, since at least 2017, the home had been passing inspection, and this in parentheses, they put this. And then they have 1 and 2. Y'all see the sub numbers there where you can go on these links. And I can't highlight it. But if you go on this website, www.cbsnews.com/Chicago/news/Dalton Woman Mold House, and then later coverage. This was on August 21st, 2019. And then another coverage done November 11, 2019 on the same website. CBSnews.com, Chicago News, Dalton Rental Home Village Trustee. And then you'll be able to see those, the coverages for those two. I can't highlight the hyperlinks. I'm sorry. All right. Despite complaints from Mrs. Smith about conditions such as water leaks and mold that should have prevented the home from being approved for occupancy. But, you know, somehow it kept passing inspections, right? Upon info and belief, one of the village inspectors who inspected the home between 2017 and 2019 that deemed the home livable was Kim Alston, because she's terrible. At all times, relevant hearing, Austin and Hinyard were friends. Upon info and belief, Austin's employment as an inspector was terminated by Dolton in 2019 for allegedly taking bribes from business owners in the village related to her position as an inspector, as well as allegedly being unprofessional and using profanity with residents while inspecting the homes. I can believe that. I mean, did we not just see that god-awful display of her attitude in the video? Yeah, I can believe that. Welcome in. Welcome in. Shadow Seeker said, wait, these are records, legal documents, not defamation. So go back to your playpen if you really think you are allowed to bully people. We got, oh Lord, yeah, listen, I don't see, we got trolls in here because I'm not seeing them. Yeah, I know they go back out to about, dude, we got kicked out. In my mind, you don't exist. I just care less that you exist, let alone get kicked out. But I use the trolls for target practice. I didn't know we had a troll here. I'm not even seeing. I'm just seeing you all. I'm not seeing anybody else. Because lost. Oh man, super stupid. That means wasn't qualified. None of them were. $500 tickets is insane for parking. You know, Tip pillaged that cash. Yeah, calling herself trying to beat up for the community while taking $500 in tickets. No, you weren't. You literally pissed off the judicial branch of government there because they inundated the courts with these stupid ass tickets, and the judges just started kind of dismissing them. Like, what? You got? There's a line out the door for people to stand before a judge about a damn ticket because a lot of them were contesting the tickets. So they were going to court. It's like, I'm not paying this. Where did this come from? I got something in the mail. So if you guys go and read some of those court documents, the judges were kind of dismissing those tickets because they were like, it's not even valid. What the hell is this? Now you're inundating the courts and pissing off the judges there because she thought she owned everything. No, little girl. You was just 1/3 representation. That's all you were worth. And your goons are worth nothing at all. I feel good saying that. I'm proud of it. I didn't know we had a goon and troll in here. Oh, God. I laugh at him. Ugh. If you're going to be a troll in here, at least master the English language and put something that makes sense. Oh, God. Hey, Annie, how you doing? I heard a girl was moved temporarily and Tiff kept receiving her Section 8 funds for rent. I think so. That's what's happened as well. I think that's what happened. We're going to keep reading this lawsuit. I just wanted to pause for some comments. Kim Austin was talked about by Lavelle. He said she was the one who hooked up Tiffany and Kamal. She was Kamal's friend. Not listen to gossip, mind you. We heard through the grapevine. Actually, that was said in that video from Public Ops. They actually put that up that, she connected Super Stupid and Siggy together. They're two birds of a feather that flock together. Just two dum-dums trying to do something in life. All they seem to do is criminal shit, and not read books. So, what do you expect? What do you expect? That's why I said she sucked as a trustee, so I'm confused how anyone thought she could be a mayor. Yeah, I mean, you know what? The people who were really paying attention, they knew how horrible she was as a trustee, and she was just very combative against the other mayor. But because she was loud and ghetto and dumb, those who cheered that on, they have the same mentality, and they do the same thing. They're just loud, ghetto, and dumb. They say nothing of value of substance. They don't help anybody. They don't care about their own neighbors. They don't care about the people she actually hurt. They don't care about what, Super Stupid was putting the village through when she was a trustee. Then she becomes a mayor, and all they want to do is defend and deflect for her, and she doesn't pay their mortgage. Go figure. Unless she does, and we just don't know it. But they carry on as if she takes care of them or something, and they do this with pride because of reasons. Kiana Belcher stated in a meeting about the parking and lines and signs being illegal, demanded it be removed immediately. I would have went out there, removed it myself, and recorded it on live stream. I'm sure in the bushes. Oh, yeah. We got goons in the bushes, y'all. That's so weird. I'm not even going to say, listen, welcome. Thank you for adding to my algorithm. Thank you for watching and clicking on the video. You added into my algorithm. I'm not mad at that. Hopefully you learned something today, and then you can go spread that. It's like, Lady Luck Club read a court document today, and she kept calling us goons. Yes, it did. Oh, 3 people left. Oh, no, because they don't want to read. I laugh at it. That clown the goons. I mean, we're here reading court documents. Yeah, get over it. But I'm going to say exactly what the hell I'm going to say. Super Stupid is a moron. All right, moving on. After Austin's employment was terminated, Dolton hired Vaughn as an inspector. Upon info and belief, after Austin's employment was terminated, he had hired Alston to be a property manager for the rental homes owned by Henry. At some point in late 2019, Vaughn went to inspect a rental home owned by Henry, and Alston was present during the inspection. During the inspection, Vaughn commented that he thought that a GFCI outlet needed to be installed to the existing furnace circuit in the home. Alston told Vaughn that it was not necessary and that she knew so because she also used to be an inspector for the village. But if she's not certified, she doesn't know that. I mean, there's only so much knowledge she can impart when she doesn't really have it. So that's that. She then told Vaughn, they just fired me. I guess you took my place. What kind of nonsense? You are a grown-ass woman. They just fired me. I guess you took my place. Well, we guess so. Because, it's a village of 20,000 people. I don't think two of you are necessary anyway. But if you, Kim Austin, if you were as awful as you're being described in court documents and captured on video in meetings, being awful, writing out tickets and being proud of collecting all of this money off the backs of hardworking individuals, then yeah, you should be fired and never ever hired again or taken seriously by anyone. I just want to see that smug look on your face when you lose your lawsuits, when judgments are being issued against you. Boy, we can put a camera in that courtroom. It would be epic. All right. April 6, 2021. Super Stupid was elected as mayor of Dolton because of reasons. Shortly after becoming mayor, Super Stupid hired and appointed her friend Austin as the director of inspectional services for Dolton, making Austin the supervisor of Vaughn. From Austin's first day as the director of inspectional services, she treated Vaughn unprofessionally because, women's got to be vindictive and retaliatory and vengeful and spiteful like that because she thought that he was hired to take her place. Oh, what a little petty little chicken head she is. In March 2023, while Vaughn was in a Minutes parking lot, someone hit his village work vehicle. Vaughn called the police and reported the incident to Austin. In response, a frustrated Austin told Vaughn that he should not have called the police or reported the incident because, laws don't exist now? Are you kidding? Let me read this again. Number 25. In response, a frustrated Austin told Vaughn that he should not have called the police or reported the incident and said something to the effect of, you should have just paid the woman $500 and been on your way, even though the accident was not his fault. For fuck's sake. How much more dumber does this get again? Oh my God. This can't be real. Is it real? Oh, sweet Jesus. Y'all, this is a whole court document. It's a whole court document. You should have just paid the woman $500 and been on your way, and he was not at fault. He was in a parking lot and someone hit him. Wouldn't those cars have cameras in it? Don't they have dash cams? Somebody let me know. I would assume that those inspection vehicles like that belong to any low-level government entity would have a dash cam in it, right? Or some sort of camera. I could be wrong. Allegedly, KA used to be a hooker. Oh, good God. I caught one that was there here. That is right here, man. Guaranteed clucker. So I know they sent people because she was live at the same time. Y'all know. Listen. Let me tell you about the trolls. Trolls are gonna come because they know I talk about some real stuff. They know I pull up court documents. They know I get information they probably don't think to, or they don't get their hands on. So they're gonna come. A few of them probably bought memberships. You know what I do? Like people like Ty Goza is a troll that always leaves comments in my videos. I don't even get mad about it. I think this is my second time even bringing it up. You know what I tell them? Thank you for adding to the algo. I can always count on you to click my video. You know, the comments getting less and less, but whatever. He clicks on the videos. He adds to my algorithm. It doesn't make me mad at all. The trolls and the ghouls want to watch. Why be in the bushes? Have a spine and say something in the chat. You know, we're talking about some real stuff here. A whole court document. What's the worst you can say? Lady Luck Club read that all weird. I mean, yeah. Oh no. Oh no. At the end of the day, it is what it is. Trolls are gonna be trolls, yo. Trolls got to troll. I don't care. I really don't. So for whatever reason, they feel like this is fun for us to go around and channel hopping and coming up with stuff to go back and tell other goons. Who cares about them? They don't pay my rent. You understand that? They don't pay my rent. So, that's how I treat them. They're goons. They're trolls. I'm not saying troll comments, but I think some of them are just hitting. I'm not saying them either. I mean, but they're going to be there. Y'all just laugh at them. Keep going. Just talk about how bad their English is. All right. Moving on. So she told him to bribe somebody, even though he was not at fault. In Vaughn's opinion, it was obvious that Alston did not like him for taking her place as an inspector after her employment was terminated by Dolton in 2019, as if he could help that. He couldn't help being hired because that position still needed to be filled. You taking bribes and doing all the criminal stuff you're doing, and you're mad about someone firing you and then someone else being hired to take your place, basically, or to work in that position that needed to be filled. That's so laughably stupid. It's not even funny. You know what the judge is going to say? You think anyone cares that you were terminated, Kim Austin? Do you really think that? Do you really think that this court cares that you were throwing a tantrum about being terminated? You were taking bribes, allegedly. Get over yourself. It's not about you, after all. That's exactly what the judge is going to say. On one occasion, during a work lunch with team members from the inspection services department, while employees were wearing village uniforms, Austin got up from the picnic bench and went across the street and urinated in an alley behind a residential home, which was witnessed by other people. What the hell? Did y'all see it? On one occasion, during a work lunch with team members from the inspection services department, while employees were wearing village uniforms, Kim Alston got up from the picnic bench, went across the street, and urinated in an alley behind a residential home, which was witnessed by other people. A whole grown woman did this. Holy jeez, am I missing something? Did y'all see this? This grown woman went behind a residential home and urinated in an alley that was witnessed by other people. Oh my God. Y'all see why I love reading court documents. The stories that they tell. This is better than gossip news. Man, this puts the dumbass trolls and goons to shame, Lord. I don't care about nobody else's channel right now. When you read something like this in a court document, what the hell? Oh my God, I didn't think it would get worse. Y'all seeing this shit? She went and urinated in an alley behind a residential home, which was witnessed by other people. Oh my, a grown ass woman. Y'all, that same grown woman in Public Ops TV video that laid back in that chair, proud of giving out all these fraudulent ass tickets and inspection reports and charging people all this money with no certification. Urinated behind in the public view for people to see. Wouldn't that be indecent exposure of some sort? She should have went to jail. Yeah. Dalton Police Department needs to be overhauled. By Tuesday morning, Jason House need to be walking up in that town hall like, all right, what we going to do about the DPD, Dalton Police Department? Because they didn't lock up Kim Austin for indecent exposure. Urinating behind a house in an alley that was witnessed by other people. I can't get past this, y'all. This is something. Kim Austin, you really are the worst. You are deplorable. Oh, that's so nasty. Vaughn reported this behavior to Hinyard directly, who probably just didn't give a damn. Upon info and belief, when Hinyard asked Alston about this, Alston responded, "At least I took off my village shirt while publicly urinating in the alley." Holy shit. This is the best channel on earth, y'all. We getting some good stuff up in here. You better hit that like button. All the goons, the trolls, everybody better watch this and see this damn portion of the video where Kim Austin urinated in an alley in public view and then told super stupid, another dumb goon, "At least I took off my village shirt." You can't make this up. You can't make this up. You can't make this up. Y'all, oh Lord have mercy. You can't make this shit up at all. Oh my God. That's some belligerent, drunken-like behavior from somebody that's like crackhead, living on the street, and that's all they do. Like, you know, they don't care because they do this all day, every day. They took, you know, you expect that type of behavior from somebody that's walking around talking about how much for a blow pop. Like, this is ridiculous. God, y'all. Oh my God. Holy Jesus. Okay. After Vaughn reported this behavior to Hinyard, super stupid. Alston doubled down on her mistreatment towards Vaughn because, you know, now she just had to get really vindictive because he telling on me for doing something she should have went to jail for. She routinely made rude, degrading, and unprofessional comments towards Vaughn. For fuck's sake. This hostile behavior led Vaughn to report Alston to Janice Johnson, Director of Administrative Services and Human Resources Department, who was also named as one of the administrators on that Fifth Third bank account unlawfully. Y'all remember that? Because I go over that like every other video, seemed like. Because that was a crime. It's bank fraud. This was in March 2023, where Vaughn indicated that he did not wish to work under Alston any longer. I mean, who would? What the fuck? On or about May 5th, 2023, Alston told Vaughn and Wes, another male in the Inspection Services Department, "I am tired of all you men here. And that by the time it's all said and done, all you men are going to be gone, and I'm going to have a team of women here so that you can go keep peeing in the alley." As if a woman's supposed to be okay with that. Are you crazy? This woman is nuts. This was on or about May 5th of 2023. Approximately 2 years ago. Today is May 4th, 2025. So approximately 2 whole years ago, a weirdo named Kim Austin, who should have gone to jail for indecent exposure and public urination. Public urination. That's another charge. Public urination is a whole charge. That should have landed her at least a weekend in jail. Oh my Lord. Oh my God. Said, "I am tired of all you men here, and that by the time it's all said and done, all you men are going to be gone, and I'm going to have a team of women here." Like we would be okay as women with that bush any more than a man should. Shortly after Austin made this comment, on or about May 15, 2023, Vaughn was placed on leave until December 2023. They put this man on leave for 7 months. The reason stated was that Vaughn was doing what? I don't know. Yeah, I don't see a cross. Doing what? Something. Oh, okay, hold on. Sorry. Vaughn was doing what Brian Thigpen was doing, while Thigpen was the director of inspection services who was terminated by Super Stupid. Vaughn was not given any other reason. You know, because they don't give people reasons for the dumb shit that they do, right? Super Stupid didn't give anybody a reason for removing the village clerk off of a whole bank account and committing bank fraud. No, she didn't do that. She didn't give a valid reason for it. She just did it. And then the bank had to tell the village clerk, oh, you've been taken off this bank account. And I'm sure it was unlawfully done and illegal. You know, violating state statutes and local ordinances to do dumb shit that no one told you to do, but you know, reasons. This is something else. So her reason for putting a person on leave for 7 months was that he was doing what someone no one knows unless you live there. I think it's all clear. I don't. It's funny how that keeps being somehow reminded of me. I know I don't live there. But Brian Thigpen, Thigpen. I don't know who that is. I'm not even going to look him up because he's not important. Doing what Brian Thigpen was doing, while Thigpen was the director of inspection services who was terminated by Super Stupid. Vaughn was not given any other reason for this 7-month hiatus. Placed on leave. Was he paid? Probably not. This is insanity. Insanity. Oh, Lord. Before Alston became the director of inspection services, the department was comprised of 2 females and 3 males. Since Alston became the director, the department is now comprised of 4 women and 0 men. I'm glad they typed the number out because Super Stupid doesn't recognize numbers. She damn sure doesn't do mathematics. Y'all see why it's imperative to understand words because numbers go over her head. 4 women and 0 men. All men have either been terminated or transferred out of her department. In February of 23, before taking leave, Vaughn requested paid time off for November 30th, 23 until December 24th, 23 in order to travel to Spain as part of his participation in Chicago Mass Choir, a 2-time Grammy-nominated choir from Chicago. You better do it, Vaughn. Look at that. Chicago Mass Choir. Y'all better listen to a couple songs by Chicago Mass Choir. 2-time Grammy-nominated choir from Chicago. Vaughn plays piano for the group. Look at that. Vaughn's got some talent. Yay. Y'all see why I love reading court documents. They're awesome. On December 5th, 23, Janice Johnson called Vaughn to ask him to return to work. He's in Spain with a 2-time Grammy-nominated choir from Chicago playing the piano. And this helper calls him talking about return to work. I'm sorry, exactly when you expect me to be there because I'm in Spain. Boy, some of these women can be trifling as hell. And I say this as a woman having worked for other women, like we're a supervisor, manager, director, like 3 successions of leadership are all women. Ain't no men and no testosterone in that to break it up a little bit. Nope, just all that estrogen that no one cares about. It's just, oh, y'all. Sometimes y'all don't understand. Men don't understand how hard it is. Women have it when you work for a vindictive, retaliatory, spiteful piece of crap that has nothing to live in life for, except to come to work and make you miserable. I know everyone can attest that they work for someone that's like that. Put an amen in the chat if you've had a supervisor that was like Kim Austin. Oh Lord. And Janice Johnson. They're the worst. Vaughn indicated to Johnson he had already requested PTO for his choir trip. Johnson stated she did not see that Austin had approved the PTO, but saw there was still a request pending and approved the PTO usage, telling Vaughn to return to work on December 28, 23. When Vaughn returned from Spain, he went back to work on December 28, 2023. However, upon his return, Vaughn learned that he had been reassigned to the village water department as a water meter reader. In January 2024, despite being a water meter in the water department, Vaughn was instructed to shovel snow for village residents. So and my son, y'all, he just playing on his game or something on the phone. You being loud. Calm down. A water meter reader in the water department, and then instructed to shovel snow for village residents. You mean that snow and slush and shit that she went out there pretending she was shoveling in all them videos, trying to do a PR stunt? You had a water meter reader who was a code inspection enforcement out here shoveling snow? What the hell? But yet, super stupid goes to bat for a married man. Y'all, she'll go to bat and fight for a married man. But look how they treat other men that stands up to them. And women. I mean, they treat everybody like crap. Because she wants to be a dictator. She had this man out here, a water meter reader in the water department, shoveling snow. Vaughn was given 5 homes to shovel. After shoveling the 5 homes, Vaughn left work. Can you blame him? It's like, you know what? I did my 5. Y'all kiss my ass. I'm going home because this is humiliating. It's just to be humiliating. Like, it's not even the simplicity of the work. It's the humiliation factor with that. He was a code inspection enforcer, like he was an inspector. And now he's got to shovel snow. Are you serious? Oh my God. So he left work when he was done with them 5 homes. Between January 19, 24 and January 29, 24, Vaughn was instructed by Juanita Darden, the director of the water department, to not come into work. What the hell? However, allegedly, Darden changed her mind and called Vaughn the next day to tell him that he did have to come into work because, you know, chicken heads don't have brains, so they don't even know how to make decisions for themselves and ensure that their staff has a job to do that they're paying them to do. I mean, you know, reasons. However, Vaughn had just gotten a new cell phone during that time and did not see any calls or missed calls from Darden. I mean, a call log would prove that, right? So it wouldn't be hard to prove that in court. On January 29, 24, when Vaughn returned to work pursuant to Darden's original instructions, he was given a notice of termination signed by Keith Freeman, village administrator. See termination notice marked as Exhibit A, attached hereto and made a part thereof. The reason stated for the termination was due to leaving work early without prior authorization approval from supervisor, due to leaving work after shoveling the 5 homes, as well as being absent from work from January 19th through 29, 2024, and failing to contact your supervisor. See Exhibit A. Keith Freeman, you have a lot of people to apologize for. I hope you still go to prison and you can kiss my ass. Then, I told you I don't like him. I just don't like him. He's done too much damage. Too much. As a local government employee, Vaughn was a member of the American Federation of State, County, and Municipal Employees, AFSCME, acronym AFL-CIO, Council 31, Local 2199, Public Works Department, and Municipal Employees, hereinafter referred to as AFSCME. So I'm just going to refer to it as the acronym. That's what the court documents do. Dolton is a signatory to an agreement between Dolton and AFSCME. And of course, they have that as marked Exhibit E, the agreement itself, the relevant portions pertaining to this particular complaint. Dolton has a well-settled and widespread policy of retaliating against employees and terminating their employment if they run afoul of Super Stupid or any of her allies, such as Alston and Freeman, 2 more dumb goons that are going to be in a lot of trouble. Dolton's employee policy and procedure manual includes policies and procedures on progressive discipline, including verbal warnings, written warnings, suspensions, demotions before final termination. However, these policies were not followed by Dolton because Super Stupid and her goons don't read. or recognize numbers or do mathematics. Ooh, number 8 is circle. Number 2 is backward snake. The number 10 is keep the chicken nugget and Squidward standing next to each other. You gotta laugh. This is so crazy. You can't make this up. 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 Vaughn was terminated without a pre-termination or post-termination hearing. Vaughn was terminated in violation of the AFSCME agreement. As a result of the termination, Vaughn suffered emotional and economic harm. Count 1. Here's where they go into the different counts. There's a 14th Amendment retaliation under 42 USC Statute 1983, denial of equal protection against all defendants. So as they go through each count, they just kind of reallege what you all saw was those numbered paragraphs, these numbered sentences here. They consider them to be paragraphs throughout the rest of the document. So they had 51 listed before they got to the first count. So they basically realleged paragraphs 1 through 51. And then 52 starts off as, sorry about that. Vaughn has worked hard to earn and maintain a good personal and professional reputation as a public servant, and as a result enjoys a good personal and professional reputation as public servant in the community. Additionally, at all relevant times herein, Vaughn was meeting all of Dalton's legitimate employment expectations. On or about May 5, 23, Alston told Vaughn and West, another male, that, you know, when she said she was tired of all you men here, and by the time it's all said and done, all of you men are going to be gone, and I'm going to have a team of women here. Well, you know, she did it stupidly. After Vaughn complained of Austin's professional behavior, Austin's professional, I think they meant to say unprofessional behavior, to Janice Johnson, Director of Administrative Services in HR Department in March 23, Vaughn suffered adverse employment actions when he was put on leave from May 23 until December 2023. 7 months of a hiatus. You really think he's supposed to just come back and be happy and cheerful? He's been gone for 7 months on a leave. What type of leave was it? He was transferred from the Inspection Services Department to the Water Department upon his return. As a male, Vaughn was intentionally treated differently from other similarly situated female employees. So that's, now you have gender discrimination. Because Kim Austin is an idiot. And there was no rational basis for the difference in treatment. Female employees were not terminated or transferred out of Inspection Services Department under Austin. Before Austin became the Director of Inspection Services, the department was comprised of 2 females and 3 males. Since Austin became the director, the department is now comprised of 4 women, 0 men. I don't want to reread some of the other paragraphs that we've already gone over. His constitutional injuries, his being put on leave and transferred out of the inspection services were caused by a person with final policy making authority. Alston as Director of Inspection Services. Wherefore, plaintiff Mario Vaughn respectfully requests that judgment be entered against defendants, Village of Dolton and Kim Austin, and he got her on her individual and official capacity, so that way she cannot escape paying the judgment that is surely to be issued against her because she's an idiot. So with her not being in that role, if she's no longer the Director of Inspection Services, guess what? The judge is still going to issue a judgment against her in her personal capacity. Yay! He prays and asks that the court award him the following: back pay in an amount to be determined at trial, compensatory and consequential damages, including for emotional distress, punitive damages, pre-judgment and post-judgment interest at the highest lawful rate. So basically, pay me back my money plus the interest, as well as any other interest on top of the money that you still owe me, right? Attorney's fees and costs, that will be another of this action. Any such further relief as this honorable court finds reasonable. Then they have count 2, 14th Amendment retaliation. And I'm just going to kind of scroll down so you guys can see. As a public employee allegedly dismissed for cause, Vaughn was entitled to both a pre-termination hearing prior to his termination, was a post-term hearing, which is basically you got terminated. They do an interview. Now, you know, I don't know how it's turned anywhere else, but basically you kind of get like a pre-term interview and then a post-term interview where HR is supposed to reach out to you and ask you some questions. Make sure you understand. You have your objections. And when you work for any government entity, you get to appeal your termination. Hell, you can appeal a write-up. You get to appeal it. So they give you what? I think 180 days or something like that to appeal it. So if you are terminated, you actually have the right to appeal your own termination if you work for the government. Any entity, any level, whether it be federal, state, or local, you get to appeal it. So with them not even doing that, all he could do was go straight for a lawsuit because you see how HR is acting, right? But oh Lord, the grounds to which they decided to terminate him was just bogus anyway. Let's see. Public entity prior to the termination must provide or a written notice of the charges against the employee, an explanation of the employer's evidence, and an opportunity to present his side of the story. Since he was denied the preterm, post-term hearing, was not given an opportunity to present his side of the story. His constitutional injury, his termination, was caused by a person with final policy authority, Freeman, as village administrator. Likewise, Vaughn was terminated in contravention with the terms of the AFSCME agreement as well. So he's, of course, seeking the relief he's seeking as requested in count 1, same as in count 2. Also, count 3 is the common law retaliatory discharge. So they retaliated against him, especially when he tried to report the accident, report her peeing in public. Public urination is a crime. Why didn't she go to jail? It's a crime. It's a crime. So this is crazy, y'all. This is why we love court documents. The U.S. has clearly mandated public policy in favor of protecting employees from discrimination on the basis of their gender, which is what she completely just, because they don't care about constitutional protections or laws, federal laws, state laws, local ordinances or laws. They don't care about none of that. Rules, regulations, they believe they're above it. Super Stupid was a dictator in her mindset. And tomorrow's going to be something else. Tomorrow's going to be real interesting. Because I literally am just like, I'm telling you all right now, and this is not to be funny or facetious, but I would love to see her get carried out of that damn town hall. I just want that to happen. Because that would be the zenith of her delusional mindset. For her to go into work and still think that she's the mayor. Oh, man. I'm not trying to egg her on, but boy, that would be something to see. That would be a sight to behold, to see her carried up out of there because her black ass still showed up Tuesday morning talking about I'm still the mayor. It will be scary to some and just eye-raising to others, funny, shocking. It will be a lot of things, but what it will be is global news. I would definitely do a live stream on that. Yeah, she's not going to transition at all. Oh, God. Vaughn being put on an extended leave and being transferred to a different department was no doubt in retaliation for his reporting Alston's unprofessional and sexist behavior to Henyard and Janice Johnson. Super Stupid and Janice Johnson both got it coming. Or at the very least, the bank fraud, because Janice Johnson would have had to sign some documents to be listed as an administrator on a bank account that no law gave her the right to be listed as. Period. Not at all. You either respect the laws or you don't. I mean, it's no gray in between that. Illinois has clearly mandated public policy in favor of preventing retaliatory acts. So you report on your supervisor, your manager to HR. You don't get fired over it. I mean, you got employers still doing that dumb stuff. It's crazy. You're still retaliating because reasons, your ego, your pride. Oh no, your butt hurt. Like Siggy's inflammation. Somehow your intestines are getting the best of you. Instead of you thinking with your brain, your colon is doing the work for you. Are you kidding? Kim Austin is a whole shit show unto herself. Good grief. None of these people were decent that she kept around her. They were all horrible. Oh my goodness. And then they start getting into trouble, and then they want to sit here talking about, I'm a whistleblower. I'm blowing whistles. I'm blowing all the whistles right now. Leave me alone. Nope. No. Oh my God. Dalton's act of putting Vaughn on extended leave and transferring him to another department after he complained of Austin's sexist behavior clearly violated mandate public policies in favor of protecting employees from discrimination. He suffered a loss of income and significant emotional distress as a result of Dalton's retaliatory acts. Of course, he is requesting the same relief. Count 4. I'm just going to read the counts. You guys can scroll back through because this is it's well written, but it's pretty lengthy. So count 4 was conspiracy under 42 USC statute 1983. That is federal law again. Let's see. And y'all, what I'm gonna do is I did a video where I just kind of recorded this and some other lawsuits. I'm gonna make that available to the members only. It's no music, it's no commentary, it's just a recording of the lawsuits. Actually, the video I was trying to play earlier, but I didn't want to play that one because this particular lawsuit, this is from Trellis Law. This pleading was not as, zoomed in as I wanted and enhanced as I wanted. I wanted you all to be able to actually read it. So, and my pacer is just acting. I still got to get my pacer account corrected because I want to be able to pull this stuff straight out and have the full court document pleading. I mean, this is it, but it's just the formatting of it. You can tell it's not. I know it's not the actual proper formatting for, those complaints filed to the court. So I want to be able to pull them straight from Pacer. And my Pacer account is just, I don't know what's going on. I'm going to have to reach out to them about it. But either way, I'm going to make that video available to the members only. And I think it's 2 or 3 lawsuits in that one video. So I'm just going to scroll down and just read each count just for the preservation of time because it's getting pretty late. It's a school night. Count 5, common law intentional infliction of emotional distress against all defendants. I mean, it is distressful to have to go through what you went through working for two morons, one of which is supposed to be a mayor. And the other one is sitting here talking about, I hate all men now because I can't urinate in public. It's so ridiculous. Yeah, this is why I say that Super keeps criminals around her. Kim also should have went to jail for the public urination. That's not something you do in public. Why couldn't you just go to a bathroom and just show some decency? Weren't there kids around? Ugh. Count 6, violation of the Illinois Human Rights Act against all the defendants. And then you have the breakdown, the example based on ILCS codes. That's the Illinois statute codes and how it's abbreviated. I'll see there in 78, 79, and paragraph 78 and 79. This is how Illinois statute codes are abbreviated. So it kind of gives a definition of what employees are. And then she discriminated against him based on gender. She just wanted to get rid of all men because pee. Oh, child, man, this is crazy. I'm just curious to know if the 7 months, you know what, could be in here. In 7 months of just the hiatus, he lost so much money. Y'all, this is so unfair to someone that was just trying to do the right thing. All of them aren't bad, but the ones that were bad, boy, they were bad. They were horrible. So, Austin's conduct had the purpose or effect of substantially interfering with Vaughn's work performance and of creating an intimidating, hostile, or offensive work environment for Vaughn. See, this is what a hostile environment means. Okay? Just in case there's some people lurking in bushes because they don't have the spine to say anything, I guess. I'm not here to intimidate you. I'm here to educate you with court documents. Reading is fundamental. Understanding what you're reading is even better. This is the epitome of creating a hostile environment. And they say working environment because this was his job. This was his work environment. Giving your opinion in a comment is not a hostile environment. That's just you not liking it. This court document, this lawsuit from Vaughn is the epitome of a hostile environment. And you got harassment, true harassment, and discrimination, and a bias all being played because he was just trying to do the right thing. Crazy how this goes, huh? But yet these same terms are being frivolously used because hurt feelings. It's insanity. Here's a real situation where this man was put on a 7-month leave, probably without pay, and suffered a loss of employment, emotional distress, loss of enjoyment of life, and just overall damages to his livelihood, his credibility. You know, these court documents are available to the public unless you have them sealed or there's some heavy redactions of some sort under a court order. So even having to go through this, where you have to take this to the court of law, it's already straining and stressful on its own. But look at what he had to go through, because this court document, I don't think any part of this he's lying or exaggerating. I don't. Because this is what Super Stupid does. Her and her dumb goons. They retaliated, they hit hard and hard and hard. And Keith Freeman will still be there come Tuesday morning. I don't know where Kim Alston is. Y'all tell me where she at. Is she still there? Kim Alston still work there? Y'all let me know. Hit the like button as well. 41 people watch. I'm sure it's more. This is just what I'm seeing on my thing. As a union rep, Sharon said, as a union rep, most people got away with it because people didn't know their rights. I mean, yeah, and you know what? The sad part is he tried to go through the chain of command, because that's the first thing these trifling ass women try to do, that have all this power and don't know what to do with it. Don't know how to carry it with grace and dignity. They sit here talking about, well, they didn't even tell anybody what was going on. How we supposed to know how you feel? Oh, okay. When you do that, then you get retaliated against. So I don't know, if somebody tell me if she's does Kim also still work there? I would like to think she doesn't, but you know, I could be wrong. I thought I saw something in the comments the other day where she was working at Thornton Township. You guys let me know if that's the case. Don't forget to hit the like button. Thank you so much, Laura. Thank you for joining the live. I want to thank all of you. They look straight up facts. I mean, I'm reading the court documents, y'all. Can't dispute this. We don't dispute laws or facts in this reality here on earth in the Lady Luck Club, because facts are facts and laws are laws. And none of those things care about your feelings. Not even mine. They don't care about mine either. That's why I don't, I don't do all the back and forth threat stuff. I'm just waiting for you to drop some, and then we're going to respond and drop some in return and be done with it. That's it. It's that simple. It's not about hate, love. It's not none of that. It's about, if you don't pay my bills, I really don't care. I really don't care. But this is something else. This has to be a lawsuit. So, and this man, Mario Vaughn, went through it. Woo! But this lawsuit was well written. Well done. Well done. And if you guys want, like I said, I'm gonna make this video that I did, and this is just the lawsuits. This first one here is the one we just went over and read. And did I send you all the link? I can send the link. Sites like Trellis, they give you a couple freebies, and then they want you to subscribe and pay money, because it costs money to get these documents, but they want you to pay money and all this other good stuff. The reason why I went with Pacer, because you can pull court documents, from any court across the US, federal, circuit, state courts, don't matter. And that's one of the reasons why I went with Pacer. I like Trellis, but for the money they were trying to charge, their pricing, it just wasn't worth it to me. You can only pick one state, even with the highest plan, which I think it was running around $120 a month. You were only limited to one state that meant if I picked Illinois, I would only be able to pull documents from Illinois, aside from U.S. like federal courts. Federal courts are different. You got a court going to the, U.S. Supreme Court. You can get that. You can get all of those all day. But when it comes to state courts, you had to pick a state with Trellis. And I didn't like that. And I'm like, y'all charging too much money for that. I might as well just go to Pacer. So that's what I did. I got to get my account corrected with them. Figure out what's going on, because I can't log in and get anything out. And even if I'm willing to pay for it, I need to get my access up and running. But this is what I got from Trellis Law. This is a video I just made. It's like a screen recorder. And I'm going to make this available to the members, because there are some other cases in here. You guys know Stephanie Wiedemann filed a lawsuit. If you all see here, filed a complaint against Super Stupid individually and in her official capacity as mayor, the village of Dolton. Dolton police officers S. Hobson, Dolton Police Detective J. DeVries, and Dolton Police Sergeant M. Harris. Woo! So what I might do is go over that tomorrow, because I think it would just be a good read, just to show how much crap people went through, where they had to file. This is a federal lawsuit, by the way, from Stephanie Wiedemann, in case number 24-CV-00543. And I'm just gonna scroll in. I'm not gonna show all of it, because you know what? I'm gonna make it available to the members. So you got to be a member. There it is. You need to be a member. I give y'all all the good stuff right now. Come on, my members deserve to have some of the good stuff. All right. But we went over one of the cases, and then the other, you guys remember Lawrence Gardner. I can get the documents if I had my Pacer account working, but otherwise I don't have the complaint from Lawrence Gardner. But Kim Alston is actually named as a defendant in that lawsuit, and that's a federal lawsuit. It's like she couldn't help herself. And then the Stephanie Wiedemann, she's not listed as a defendant. Not in the Stephanie Wiedemann case. But she's named in it, because I did a search just on Kim Alston's name, and this lawsuit filing did come up. So she must be named in it. So if you can pull up these documents, do Control F, just type in Kim Alston or Alston, it'll search through that document for any matches to that name. So I'm thinking that's what happened, because that's how specific my search was. And she must be named in this lawsuit, because she's certainly not listed as a defendant. Now, but Stephanie Wiedemann looked like she got a good case. Oh man, that's something else. And then of course, there's another case. Let's see. Stephanie Wiedemann demanded a jury trial, naturally, because it's a federal case. So I don't blame her for that. And her complaint is well written. It's 14 pages. And then there's another federal lawsuit with Tyrone Issam Jr., Elite Clientele, I'm assuming, Inc., and Issam and Soul Inc. And Kim Alston is listed as a defendant in that lawsuit. So I had planned on going over 3 good lawsuits tonight. We got through one. We did it. I'm going to put this video up on the members only channel. There you go. All right. I still have not had time to do a regular live from YouTube, which I'm going to do tonight. It's going to be a quick one so that I can gift the memberships, so that, you guys can enjoy some of the little perks that, we have here in the LLC. And that's pretty much all I'm going to go through tonight. For some reason, my camera's not working. I don't know why. Yeah, it's not working. So 45 people watching, please make sure you hit the like button. Guys, listen, that's all this is why I love these court documents. All the juiciness in that and her nonsense. And some people probably don't even think about doing stuff like that, but I enjoy it. I love the court filings. It gives so much insight. And I don't have to, certain people you just don't have to talk to get feel for their character and their behavior, their mentality. You don't have to sit down and talk to them for that. Sometimes discernment is the way to go. And reading court documents where you have these allegations with exhibits to legitimize the allegations that might be sufficient enough for you to be able to determine who the hell these people are and what they're about. Their thought process and the way they went about doing things was indicative that they didn't care. Super Stupid was doing the shit she was doing. They didn't care about that because they were doing the same thing in a different manner, trying to be little mini dictators up in the inspection services. Kim Austin. What makes Kim Austin any different than Super Stupid? One was a mayor and the other one was a director. The end. And it's mighty funny how Super Stupid hired her the moment she became mayor, because she knew, you know what? I got a good little piglet that'll do my bidding for me. She's going to do exactly what I say. She's going to go along with everything I say, exactly how I feel, because reasons. So this is something else. It's been real. Thank you all. GB said, good night. It's been real. Well, you have a good night. I love it. Love the breakdown of the docs. I appreciate you all for tuning in. This has been something else. Listen, don't worry about the trolls, y'all. They're gonna be trolls. We got plenty to do over here. We ain't studying them. They were unimportant before my reporting, and they will be unimportant, to the grand scheme of my life. Even now, they're not important. They're not important. But I just use it. The trolls are like target practice. Thank you, Tyre Goes. I'm sure he's gonna leave a comment. He has the algorithm. Yeah, I always thank him for it. You'll be fine. You'll get over it. All right. I want you all to have a good evening. It is 10 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, my time. Thank you all for tuning in. We will be going live tomorrow for the ceremony of Jason House been sworn in as the mayor of Dolton. Congratulations to the village of Dolton. You all did it. And I'm just very happy and proud. And I think many of us have been, out here on YouTube and other great content creators, just looking forward to the day where Super Stupid is out. And now you have Jason House, that I hope and pray does a great job. Make sure you hold him accountable. And Lord knows I will. If he does something, I'm going to report on it. I don't know if Kim Alston is friends with anybody like that or not. I don't care. I'm reading the court docs. And what has been alleged is very credible. There's exhibits and evidence to support it. And she should answer to it. Bottom line. So you guys continue to take care of yourselves and each other. Thank you so much for tuning in. Hit the like button. Become a member and subscribe. And I will see you all in the next one. Lady Look out. Deuces.